just gonna jump right in. Why not? While I'm here, hi, good morning. Remember how last week uh, I mentioned that I might be hopping on in the morning just to spend a little time with you? Well, by God, here I am. Look at you guys showing up, and there you are. And hello, everybody on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube and Twitter, which obviously not part of this conversation. I don't know how to remedy that. And then, of course, on Instagram as well. Although and you can see the sun coming through my window. Look at that. See, that's the. It's right. It's right. Where is it? It's right here. Where am I? Where's the? There's the sunlight. There it is. So somewhere in this area. Yeah, there you go. That's it. So you can tell it's really morning. Hi, happy Labor Day. I thought in honor of Labor Day, I would start laboring more. I thought I'd maybe put in a little more effort. And in that way, just get up in the morning and kind of hang with you guys and say hello and stuff. I have to put the chat up early and say hi to everybody. Tell everybody where you're from, where you are, right, this morning as you join us on the live feed before I have to turn before I have to switch to something else on the screen so that the crazy people don't come in and start saying bad words in the thing. Don't get any ideas. And you know what bad words I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who want to randomly come in here and say things like, I don't know, like, Bad egg! You know what I mean? Like, that's just not right. Just come in here and say, Bad eggs in a month. I mean, wow. What? Yeah. So, hi everybody. Thank you so much. And I gotta stop leaning out of that sunshine. Actually, I'll leave. I don't worry about it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm in my office. It's in the morning. Who cares? Montreal, Dover, Delaware. We got New Hampshire in the house. Melbourne, Florida. Oh, I got all excited about Australia, and it turned out to be just Melbourne, Florida. Well, you know, they got gators instead of crocs, but other than that, it's the same. Children are criminals, all you. Florida, North Carolina, Cincinnati, where I was born. There you go. Oklahoma City. Bad words like Texas. Yes. A good morning and 5 eggs to all of you. So thanks for joining me. I thought I'd jump through and, you know, in the process of going over, like, what would I talk about on a morning show? And I think that, you know, obviously the news of the day would be a valuable thing to bring up, you know. And then I was like, we kind of get a lot of news in terms of the United States anyways. We see our stuff all the time. So, and we're under the sort of assumption that only we are this crazy. And by the way, on Instagram, can you turn the thing sideways and it actually works? Or does it just look all choppy and weird? And if you rotate it, does your phone rotate and it screws the whole thing up? Or can you turn it sideways and watch? I'm just curious because I'm on Instagram right now. I'm on Instagram Live, and I instead of putting it in the center of the screen, you can put the whole screen up, you know, landscape style, and I'm trying that. And how you should cover the Canadian election. Yes, just to make you guys realize how ours are not the only crazy ones, especially in North America. Instagram won't let you turn it. Okay, so if you just rotate your phone, it stays that way and it works, and you're just watching. Okay, so fingers crossed it works. Let me know. Thank you for. Don't thank me for streaming. Oh, Cape Town, South Africa, in there. That's a fantastic place to be from. Down in South Africa. I know my South African accent's pretty crappy because I haven't really practiced it much, but it makes it very fun to talk, my friend. This kind of mix of whatever it is. Every time, every time in Blade Runner when Harrison Ford talks about like the language of Blade Runner in Los Angeles, I always imagine that most of the Americans would speak like South Africans. Portugal, Oregon, look at this. New Mexico, happy Labor Day, everybody. I hope you have a day where you do not labor. I will be laboring quite a bit today, actually. I will be I'm just doing this early show and kind of getting this thing off the ground. I think we're going to do Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for the foreseeable future. Fingers crossed it'll work. Why a QR code in the top right corner? That's my Venmo, so people can donate to the show and help out. I mean, you have to understand, as an entertainer, especially a live entertainer, who does most of my living comes from touring as a stand-up comedian and as a musician. When all that stuff shut down, I still got a kid to feed. Two, if you count 1.5. My girlfriend's got a kid too, and and I play a part in that as well. So you got to make a living. So if you're gonna be entertaining, that's how you do it. Right now, that's okay. And it's something, by the way, that I noticed that I and folks like me had handed off to people on, let's just say, the other side, and I'm reclaiming it. So it's true. I'm an actual dad and a sort of sideline stepdad. I'm not, I don't know if I'd qualify because we're not married. So, but I've been around for a good portion of his life. So, yeah, yes, she does indeed. So there you go. All right, now let's jump over. I was going around looking at the news. Thank you and good morning to all of you for joining me. Look at this craziness. This is a rather lovely gathering of folks. This is all right. And I've got a Swedish clip to show you this morning. Well, let's start off first with Australia, just because we were bringing up Melbourne. Well, golly, Wally, they've got this idea that Joe Biden's not going to finish his term. This is the title of this is Sky News Australia. He's not going to make it, Joe Biden, not to finish presidential term. Now, I don't know if later on they're going to have a, Wolf Boy on to talk about this, or Bat Boy, or something like that. I will say there was a really good story out of Australia about a little kid who was lost. Let me see if I can bring him up. Little 3-year-old piker, 3-year-old Australian boy lost. That'll bring it up. Oh, wrong one. Crap. I'm typing in the wrong one. 3-year-old Australian boy lost. Yeah, there you go. They found him. Look at this little piker in Canberra, Australia. This 3-year-old boy wearing a sweatshirt and diapers was found sitting in a creek cupping water into his hands to drink on Monday, 3 days after he was lost at the rugged Australian woodland. Nah, I don't want to get notifications. CBS, leave me alone. But isn't that a nice story to start off your week with? A 3-year-old lost in the woods in Australia, no less. Like, if you lost him in Oregon, something like that, it'd be one thing. I know I'm doing a goofy Australian accent. Don't judge me. Relax. But, like, it's Australia, right? So it's full of crooks and, like, pie plate size spiders. I mean, it's amazing. This little kid, he must be tough as nails. Tougher than woodpecker lips. This kid, his name is AJ. He's autistic and non-verbal, so they were really worried about him, but he managed to do just fine. By the way, most animals you'll find in the wild, non-verbal, so, maybe he had a slight advantage. Hard to say. The crew of a police helicopter spotted him in shallow water in a creek bed late Monday, about 510 yards from his home. Tracy Chapman said, "You've got a fast car. I'm going to find an autistic kid lost in the woods right now." All right, sorry. Tracy Chapman, anybody? Boy, talk about a throwback. Tracy, police superintendent, I knew she was a pop star, but very few of us knew that Tracy Chapman is now a police superintendent in Australia. His father, Anthony, said AJ had been bitten by ants, had diaper rash, and suffered abrasions. This was all before he left the house. "It's a miracle," the father told reporters after he and his wife, Kelly, were reunited with their son. He's clinging to mum. As soon as he heard his mum, he opened his eyes and looked for her and fell asleep. Oh, look at him, sweet. Look at these two. freaking out. Oh my god. There he is, little piker. See, start off some good news. Meanwhile, I'd like to see what the Australians have to say about President Joe Biden.
Returning to one of our top stories of previous weeks, and that is the ongoing problems in Afghanistan, and we're joined now by political analyst and professor at Curtin University, Joe Siracusa. Joe, good morning to you.
And well-known scientific impersonator. Thanks for being here in front of a bookcase. That's how we know. Yeah, there's an echo, sorry.
What do you make of the political fallout?
I don't know why there's an echo. It's very weird. It's a little bit of one, yeah. Hold on. I'll try and turn this off or something. I think it's... I know why it is. It always gets reset, and I don't know why. Properties. It was stupid. Hold on. Every time I open the software, it like saves back to like... I don't know why I'm speaking with an Australian accent still. It's going to be just terrible. StreamX. The monitor's off. I don't know why. So, we'll see. All right, let's see if it works.
In the past week, since we have last spoken.
Good morning, Pete. Look, the political
Hello.
Continues to grow in the United States and probably other places. President Biden...
Professor Joe Siracusa at Curtin University, who apparently has something against bric-a-brac. I don't know why it is, but if you're going to have a bookshelf behind you that's not a full-size bookshelf, for God's sake, man, put something on top of it, you anal retentive sociopath. What is happening?
Been concerned with Hurricane Ida and the infrastructure package and all the rest of it.
Yeah, why did Biden start a hurricane in the middle? Doesn't he have enough stuff to deal with? But please, Professor Siracusa, the first choice of information, the only person awake. And I do appreciate your 3 books on Kennedy are all in the right order so that the picture on the back of the dust cover makes his full face. It would be a little weird if they were out of order. Because people would, 1, think you didn't know what Kennedy's face looked like or was just messing with him, or 2, just had books on your shelf to make it look like you read them. Who does that?
But he can't escape the momentum to hold him accountable. Now, while there are people...
He can't escape the momentum to hold Biden accountable, especially that momentum coming out of his mouth where he says, I'm taking responsibility. I don't know how you outrun that.
Who will argue with him that America's war would have to end one day. Almost everybody agrees that the way it ended was inexcusable. The admirals and the generals...
You mean, no. There's a group of people who argue that it should have never ended, and then the people who realize that the ending would have sucked no matter when we did it. I honestly, I don't know where this argument comes from. I mean, it would have worked maybe a week ago. Yeah, like 9 days ago. You could have made this argument. You'd still been an asshole, but...
have gone on into the media and television and the rest of it, arguing that the president should have listened to them. And it's a very interesting thing here. While the military...
Yes, he should have listened to all the people who weren't elected on a promise to end the Afghan war. And good morning, everybody. Yeah, I don't normally broadcast this. I'm going to actually, I think, create a different look for the morning show instead of using my standard show. But I almost did that this morning, but I thought it'd be too much work before I could get started. So in my labors on Labor Day, I will create a different look for the morning show from the other shows so that it's easier to kind of get up and running and that kind of thing, if that's all right. So good morning and hi. Hi. This is different than the normal stuff. We're looking at the news of the world or the lack thereof.
Very happy to see the back of Donald Trump. They're very happy to see the President Biden. And of course, Biden ignored their advice in terms of the evacuation. So they're all very angry.
Oh, he did? Oh, you mean the advice not to leave? That part?
With him. And there's really no one left to blame. But I saw this morning that a number of people in Congress have already organized articles of impeachment against Secretary of State Blinken. He's number 5th in line for the president. And
we don't know why Joe Siracusa from Curtin University is their expert, But other than the fact that he's frigging adorable. I mean, I think that's really like, I think the Australians on their morning shows like to see somebody who that looks like a plush doll from the 30s. Look, it's my squeezy grandpa. You squeeze him and he goes, right.
Of course, then we have.
He's too loud. His volume's too loud. All right, hold on. I'll turn mine up a little bit. And you're louder as I go. Here I go. There we go.
President pro tem and Speaker of the House. So we're going to see we're going to see some pretty heavy battling there. Now
no, we're not. We're not going to see some pretty. I'm sorry, Australia. Can I jump in front of the professor here? We're not going to see some pretty heavy battling. We're going to see the normal political BS flailing we've always sought. We've always seen. And by the way, the Republicans themselves are up against a wall on this because Trump ran on getting us out of Afghanistan. They all agreed that that's what their plan was. They've been selling that for 4 years. He just never did it. They're very aware that they can only go so far.
The thing is that people are arguing that maybe, why did we get so little out of Afghanistan after a 20-year war?
Yeah, right. Why didn't we take their women? Huh? Why not? Come on, a little lithium, some girls. Why did we get so little out of this? All we got was a bunch of educated women. What the hell is that? Jesus Christ. Get so little. What class does he teach at Curtin University? Imperialistic exploitation and Marxist rebellion.
And a number of people are arguing, well, our intelligence wasn't very good. And indeed it wasn't. The Americans, like the Australians probably, they like to use high-tech and technology and satellites and all that kind of stuff. And
yeah, just satellites and stuff like that and things like, tech and things. And they do stuff with space, drones probably, little helicopters with cameras on the underside of them, Teddy Ruxpins wired to explode. I mean, there's a lot of tech.
What we needed in a place like that, particularly with the divisions within the Taliban, we needed human intelligence.
Yes, why aren't we willing to kill a bunch of our allies and spies on an organization that isn't even formed yet? Why don't we get some human intelligence from people who are going to go, yeah, they're just fucking running around like chickens with their heads cut off trying to figure out how to run this place. All right, well, get back to us in 2 years after they're done killing each other.
The United States was able to help the Colombian government break the back of the terrorists there was because they had about 500,000 informants in the field in this war.
Right, but we didn't have bases there and we weren't at war there. And we also played footsie with some death squads down there. So that's one of the other reasons.
All we have are drones and satellites and the rest of it.
Yeah, just all we got is drones and satellites and cameras that can see, freckles on your nuts from space. I mean, is that really worth anything if we don't have snitches on the ground getting their throats slit to tell us stuff we can see from space? They're moving in this direction. You don't say.
Intelligence doesn't work. So people are going to start to look at this and they're going to conflate. They're going to put together the anniversary of 9/11 and the debacle in Afghanistan and try to...
What? When are people going to make that conclusion? How are they ever going to put those two things together? Oh, right, because Biden said we shouldn't be in there on the next one. We should be out by 9/11. That was the impetus for us to attack Afghanistan in the first place. What people will conflate is the fact that that's us having been there for 20 years on the nose.
Draw some long lessons out of this. And the long lesson is that we can't afford to give up a place like Afghanistan in terms of its geopolitical significance. I mean, here's a place
that's the long lesson? At Curtin University, what they're teaching right now is that the long lesson of the Afghan war is that we cannot afford to give up the strategic space within Afghanistan as far as launching attacks on other stuff, on other countries. That's the lesson, according to Professor Joe Siracusa.
The sphere of influence for Russia, it is borders on China, Pakistan, and Iran, and we have.
If I may, let's see. See, I got to blow this up a little bigger. I would like to show you how Afghanistan borders on China. This is how much it borders on China. See this little guy up here? See China's little wiener right here? And this is Afghanistan going, oop. If you want to go through this area, this basically lawless area between Tajikistan and Pakistan, you can get into this area and China. And by the way, this is what you could call the Uyghur Pass, where China views this as like a terror railroad. But yeah, it borders on China at a major way. Not that whoever the tribe is right here doesn't control everything that comes and goes. Yeah, you can swim to Chica. That is the right-wing weirdo professor version of Sarah Palin can see Russia from her porch.
Weapons all over the place. And now we have a radical Islamic regime, which is in bed with Al Qaeda, not to mention ISIS on the side.
I'm sorry, what?
A radical Islamic regime, which is in bed with Al Qaeda, not to mention ISIS on the side. And so how?
I didn't realize this. See, we were under the impression that ISIS was blowing up members of the Taliban and Afghan citizens because they were against the Taliban and were fighting them. But apparently, according to Professor Joey here, that ISIS is the Taliban's side piece. I just hope Al Qaeda never finds out, because that domestic argument's going to be nasty.
Counter that. That is why a number of military people are arguing the military fallout is we're going to have to go back there in 2 to 3, maybe 4 years. So we're not done with that part.
Well, I wouldn't call that fallout. I would call that wishful thinking. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Well, yeah, again, I'm not sure why the echo exists in the thing. It's a very odd part. Let's see if there's a reason for that. Let's see. Hold on. Don't want to monitor this. Maybe that's what does it. We'll see.
At least. Yeah. But Joe.
Because if I do that, then I can't hear it. And then we go to here. How about this? Try that. Nope. Then you guys can't hear it. It's very strange. I don't know why. Oh, maybe it's this. Hold on. This is we're always fixing tech stuff. Anyways, let's see. There we go. Turn this to here. Let me see if that does it. Let me just check. I will see if this is the case. Because it's not supposed to be. Hold on. There we go.
And people want to know exactly what went wrong. And I'll tell you what, the presidency ages people. And at 78 years old, the president's getting old.
Yes, the presidency ages people. Where did you ever get that idea? Hold on. I'm going to see if there's some sort of doubling going on in the audio here out of the computer. Maybe that's part of why our issue exists. I don't think so, though. I'm just going to... that will be part of my labors today, is to pull the wires again and rewire. Because it's very peculiar, that the echo thing that I deal with. And there's no reason for it. Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. It's the odds seem to be shortening, Joe, about whether he'll get to the end of 4 years.
No, he won't get to the end of 4 years. Look, the great journalist once said in St. Louis that all the odds in life are 9 to 5 against And so I'd say that his odds are probably 9-5 against. I don't think he's going to make it. I don't know if.
Dude, I'm not sure you're going to make it to the end of this interview.
Kamala Harris will be in the background. I don't know if she has the ability to do this, though. I did think I was very high on her once. I thought she had the capability.
Yeah.
No, Joe Biden isn't going to finish the term.
I think a lot of people are people who aren't.
All right, put a pin in that. That's good. Okay, so that's by the way the official position according to this fella. In terms of hold on, my alarm's going off because I set an alarm to get up and start talking to everyone. That they're going to have this in Melbourne. They're going to have this guy on, and he's the first edition is saying they believe he's not going to make it. Biden will not finish his term.
For Joe Biden, at least want him to stay there rather than Kamala Harris coming in and taking the top spot.
Well, there are a number of conspiracies.
Well, that's why people vote for someone for president and vice president. They would prefer the person who they voted for president remain president. Yeah.
People who argue that Biden was chosen to screw up so Kamala Harris can catapult into the White House. I won't go that far, as a matter of fact, but it's quite clear to me
well,
that.
Then why bring it up? What you would like to do is plant that thought. Oh, they say Kamala Harris. And who is it? Is it Jesse Lee Peterson who calls her Camilla Harris? And I don't think he's doing it by I don't think he's doing it on purpose. Yeah.
This is all bearing down very heavily on the president. And look, I don't believe in all this cognitive stuff, but he was slurring his words and his thoughts the other day. You could see he was struggling with the teleprompter, and that's never a good sign.
Yeah.
But
he's got a stutter, dum-dum. But and it's never a good sign when Australian morning news needs someone to turn to that will parrot exactly what they want said on the air, and they have to go to Curtin University to find someone. Really? No, nobody? Hold on. Hey, Bobby, yeah, listen, we need somebody to come on the air and say that Biden's not going to finish his term. Yeah, somebody like a, no, not like a politician. We got lots of those. We need like a professor, like a college professor. That'd be good. Can you find one? Yeah, Harvard, Yale, Princeton. That'd be sweet, favor it up. No. DeVry, no, I don't think so. Well, you could, no, I don't think you could find anybody that DeVry would, yeah, no, so many people there. No, they got a lot of people in the student body that have got, anxiety around teleprompters, public speaking. That's why they went to tech, right? Yeah, some of them even have a stutter. They might be too understanding, right? Who? Joe who? Curtin University. Yeah. No, I like it. I've never heard of them. What are they? Mostly what? Oh, it's like a community college, is it? Oh, they're being sued for something. It's like Trump University. Oh, I get it. It's like, yeah. It's like if Jane Curtin from the original SNL cast had her own university, but as a gag. Got it. Okay. Curtin University. Sounds good. Well, mate, guys, we've got a professor who will say that Biden's old. Is he old himself? Shit. Well, he's a bit old, yeah. But get a graphic together. It's curtains for Biden. That'll work. It's great. Yeah, no. Thanks. Yeah, fair dinkum.
That's the leader of the free world right there. Hey, Joe, we'll talk to you soon. Talk to you again next week. Appreciate that.
Yeah, we'll talk to you next. Oh, talk to you next week. They talk to this guy every week. It's curtains for Biden. Honest to God, hold on. I don't know anything about this guy. So let's go. Professor Joe he's got to have written a book, right? Syracuse. The Australian Apex Study Center. There you go. Trump can't be held accountable for riots. There you go. Let's see. He's on Expert Connect. I didn't realize that was a global thing. I should be on Expert Connect, shouldn't I? He gets on, yeah, he's on Sky News a lot. Yeah, so he teaches in Australia at Curtin. He wrote Nuclear Weapons, a very short introduction. 3.5 out of 5 stars out of 240 ratings. Diplomacy, a very short introduction. Presidential Doctrines, U.S. National Security from George Washington to Barack Obama. Weapons of Mass Destruction, the Search for Global Security. Safer Democracy, a History of America, 1914 to 1945. Depression to Cold War. So he's writing pamphlets. Impact of the Cold War, Reconsiderations. Australia looks to America. Australian-American relations since Pearl Harbor. Yeah. Born in Chicago. So far, the only redeeming quality he has. Professor of Human Security and International Diplomacy and Associate Dean International and Justice Studies at Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology. A native Chicago, longtime resident of Australia. He's internationally known for his writings on international diplomacy, nuclear weapons, and the Cold War. Well, he's known for getting 3.5 stars. He got 4 stars on his George Washington to Barack Obama book. He got a 4 out of 5 on that one. Everything else, 3, 3, 3.5, 3.5. And these are short reads. Let's see. How short is his short introduction? Oh, all right. Well, I'm sorry. I can't read most of the ratings he's getting. Rachel Terry said, I was more interested in the development of nuclear technology than on the Cold War and the post-Cold War politics of nuclear weapons, so I enjoyed the first half more than the second half, but it was a nice, concise overview. It was fun to know such things. So, yeah. But that's who this dude is. He writes pamphlets on nuclear war. All right. Next up, of course, the BBC dealing with COVID. I know a lot of you think that America's cornered the market on the idiocy around COVID. Not the case. Yeah, get some. By the way, have some breakfast. Gather round. Let's hang out. Welcome. Good morning. BBC breakfast. Oh, I like it. Yeah. Gonna try to do this morning. Good morning.
Hello, very good morning and welcome to breakfast with Dan Walker and Louise Minchin.
Okay, first of all, morning shows. What is it with the space station living room set? I mean, first of all, this is not a coffee table. It's a light fixture from the ceiling that you took down and repurposed. That is an actual, that's basically a bulb. Now, and this, like, you've given up on the background. This, I mean, we're going to room rate this whole thing, but they're all like this. They are all like this. They've given up on live video feeds because they're worried about it. So it's paintings, sketches. This is what the city will look like when we're finally finished, right? It doesn't look like this now, right? It's mostly like dirt. But like, it'll be like shiny. And look at these tall buildings. And like, it's going to be very nice, yeah? And then my biggest problem, besides the semicircular couch, which is, you know, I suppose it's better than the individual seats, but I don't know why, is the fact that they have to have laptops on this like it's a hang. If you're going to have, you know, it's the living room of the future, then for God's sakes, do it. Have like floating screens that they can see in front of them. You know, have one of those little like laser projectors that gives you a keyboard on the table from a distance. Yeah, this is this is hideous. It's bad enough that it's a ridiculous, like, 1995 version of what space couches will be. But to have your laptop and your mug and a bunch of paper and your glasses and newspapers and shit all over the place, this just proves my hypothesis that the Pottery Barn catalogs are bullshit. No space that has actual people in it stays that clean. And if it does, the people are the only upside to this. All right.
This morning. It's back to school for millions of pupils in England and Wales, but will new, more relaxed COVID measures make the grade against fears of a virus spike?
Pressure on the Prime Minister Boris Johnson
To buy a comb. Pressure on Boris Johnson to get a brush, maybe some mousse, who knows? I mean, wear a fucking hat, man. It's England. If there's ever been an excuse for a leader of our country to walk around wearing a fucking bowler or something, like, go Sherlock it. Get a deerstalker, you bastard.
growing backlash over plans to increase taxes to pay for social care. And small business.
Oh, yeah, that's what happens when the Conservatives get in charge. They're always raising taxes to pay for social care.
Businesses warn an increase in national insurance would devastate their recovery from the effects of COVID-19. What would the hike mean for employers and workers? I'll take a look.
There's a lot ahead. I'm looking forward to all of it. Here's a stamp collector, someone cleaning a desk, people's feet, another person typing. There's a camera making sure that no one's stealing from the tin while we're doing this. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's a pair of boots and some asphalt. There's a man's ass. Over here is a fella putting a brick on a wall in a window. We don't know why, but it's not important. The important thing is, here's a steamroller almost killed me. That's all you need to know. Oh, that's very sad, by the way. This girl, Sarah Harding, passed away from breast cancer. She was in a girl group. I was not familiar with this girl group because they're British. But that's also one of the main sources.
Bright shining star, girls allowed singer Sarah Harding is remembered by her friends and loved ones.
World Cup qualifier between Brazil and Argentina descended into chaos.
Yeah, when they tried to stop a soccer game. Arguably, imagine being an umpire and having to stop a soccer game and weighing it like, okay, how many people could COVID kill? How many people would these lunatic soccer hooligans kill? There's almost a 1-to-1 ratio. Can I do a Scouse accent? I don't know that I've ever tried, Dee Dee. You know what I mean? Like, literally, they had to shut this game down because one of the teams didn't observe COVID protocols. And they're like, this could lead to, like, bloody war. Here's why soccer doesn't catch on. This is why soccer doesn't catch on. Because it's not violent enough. Takes up too much ground, and it's not violent enough. It's halfway between golf and football. And the problem is that when you have a sport where there's not enough violence, people get all worked up and they need to take it out on someone. Whereas like football, you can be all violent, like, yeah, kill him, whatever. And then you see two guys' heads get knocked together and one guy get wheeled off the field and you're like, fuck that. You know what? Give me a pretzel. I'm just going to watch the game. I have no interest in fighting or kicking someone's ass right now. It's going to end up badly, even if you think you're going to win. I don't know. Yeah, go United or whatever the hell, go Steelers. But if it's soccer, it's a bunch of dudes in shorts and knee socks running around kicking a little ball back and forth. And you're like, yeah, kill them. You're like, they're not killing anyone. Maybe I should kill someone.
Match had to be abandoned after 3 English-based Argentina players were accused of breaking COVID quarantine rules when entering Brazil.
Plus is
Yeah. Soccer is brutal. It totally is. But it's really just it's mostly brutal in the stands.
September, the new August. Over the next few days, we're set to see some of the hottest conditions across the UK since late July. I'll have your full forecast here on Breakfast.
What? Get out of here! No, you don't even tell me that it's gonna be hotter in August in the beginning of September than it might have been in July. When does that ever happen? Except like 15 years ago, and then 20 years ago, and then 27 years ago, and then 30 years ago, and then 6 years ago is pretty close too, and maybe even last year. I don't know. Morning breakfast is the thing. And then back to this stupid thing. And that's the review.
It's Monday, it's the 6th of September. And
It's the 6th. The 6th. Sorry, the what?
Good morning, it's Monday, it's the 6th of September.
It's the 6th. I see. Is he messing with people? Are you having a laugh? It's the 6th of September.
And the top story this morning is that pupils will be starting their first full week of school this morning in
Yes, the rest of the eye will not start classes until October.
Wales and Northern Ireland, as the chief medical officers in the UK consider what to do about vaccinating teenagers.
The current advice is that
Yeah, we're thinking about coating soccer balls with it.
12 to
It
15-year-olds
is the 6th of September. But we'll see,
health vulnerabilities should be offered the COVID jab. The government says the measures in place.
By the way, they call it the jab over here. So when you hear people saying, I'm not going to get the jab, and you're against it, they're parroting British especially, but European anti-vaxxers when they call it the jab. Because the anti-vax stuff that started in England and makes its way over here via YouTube and stuff, they call it the jab all the time. We call them shots over here. So, I'm not getting the shot. You could see the stuff that started here and in Canada as far as people talking about it. You can literally trace the linguistic roots of all these ideas to how they refer to it. It's like pop and soda, right? You can tell what region of the country it comes from. Yeah.
England school.
I'm out of sync. Am I? Is it all right? Is it better now? Was it out of sync? Maybe restart your page or something like that? Yeah, like quit
Strike a balance between safety and reducing disruption. Here's our education editor, Roman Jeffries.
Yeah, but most of you don't know that in England, the vaccine comes in these giant tins, and they put them into these pitchers and pour them into your ass. Sorry. Stupid.
Teacher Owen Harvey started 2021 in hospital with coronavirus. He was away from his primary school class.
The coronavirus, COVID-19, not just in general. Coronavirus includes a lot of stuff. I mean, I appreciate where you're coming from, but when you're the news, don't oversimplify it. Did he have COVID-19? You can even tell more than likely if you ask what variant he had. Was he Alpha? Did he have the Delta variant? Did he have Mu?
For months, barely able to walk, Owen gradually built back his strength in his garden. So this school year is a big step back to normal for this teacher, now vaccinated, and for pupils who'll be able to mix freely.
Well, now vaccinated, and he's had it.
In the playground.
Yeah, if I'm out of sync, it's a YouTube thing. Reload your page because it's not happening elsewhere. Yeah, and don't forget, like and subscribe, give a thumbs up, and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be doing morning shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the foreseeable future for just a little bit. Just short ones, just an hour or so. That's all right. I started about 10 after 8, so I'll finish about 10 after 9 this morning, and then I'll try and get it on a regular schedule whenever it works.
Excited to get everybody back into school and to get back to something like a normal curriculum.
Yeah, something like a normal curriculum. It's a normal curriculum, but English.
Assemblies again, get that lovely social feeling that schools have been missing out on so much of. And just
it's what we really need to get back to is Sadie Hawkins dances.
Get back to being school as normal.
Excuse me. Having been to school in my life, school was never normal. There was a structure to it, but it was anything but normal.
Being started in some of England's secondary schools last week. It's the main precaution.
By the way, most of my teachers in school were laminated. I went to high school right at the spike of the AIDS epidemic, the first major spike of it from 84 to 88. And I mean, all of my teachers wore condoms to school. I mean, we just knew this. You knew they were wearing one while they were, at the blackboard.
In place this term. The top government doctors across the UK have another decision. Should they offer the vaccine to all 12 to 15-year-olds?
No, they should sneak up on them and give it to them. What do you mean? Should they offer it to them? You might want to talk to their parents. I'm just saying they're minors. I mean, I if it's safe for them, which it apparently is according to the FDA over here. I don't know what the rules are with the NIH over there, but what do you mean offer it to 12 to 15-year-olds? What, are you going to roll up in a van and go, what you want? You want candy? Or bend over, take a shot in the ass? What do you think? Right in the arm? Maybe? Candy? I don't know. Get in the van. I'm trying to creep you out as much as possible.
Experts say the benefits aren't great enough. It's a milder illness in teenagers. Schools will be trying to return to their
Yeah, until it isn't.
usual routines and to reassure pupils.
School leaders need the choice to be able to adapt the contingency framework and actually...
Sorry, Ruth. I appreciate, with a name like Ruth Craven, I would go with a lighter color for your hair. I would frost it, tips, something like that. But having raven hair when your last name is Craven, how many of these kids do you want to actually have fantasies that you're a witch running the school? Maybe you are. Maybe that's my mistake. It is England after all. Perhaps you are a member of a coven at Copley Academy. Copley Covens. Ruth Craven. Seriously? For fuck's sake.
relevant to the local need rather than the national need. So if we need to make adjustments to the measures
Yeah, we've got to make adjustments. Hold on. Why is this guy freezing on me? And I don't think it's freezing going out. I think it's just the image of it. Anyways, hold on. I'm jumping over to see if this will help with the bounce back. There we go.
in place to minimise the risk, that we have the choice to do that and we can do it immediately, that we do not have to wait.
Owen has several children that he's coaxed into getting the shot in his basement, in his crawl space.
Has been walking his way back to health, back to the classroom he loves. Like many parents and pupils, hoping this school year will be so much better than the last. Bramwyn Jeffries, BBC News.
Yeah, make sure you have some more B-roll of this guy walking. Man, is this British news. Holy hell. The echo again?
Prime Minister is facing back.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to rewire everything today. I don't get it. It's very curious.
From MPs returning to Parliament today over plans to reform the funding of social care in England.
Many, including prominent Conservatives, are angry about reports that he's considering raising national insurance rates, which would break a manifesto pledge. The government's also expected to announce an extra £5.5 billion for the NHS. Let's run some of these items past our chief political correspondent, Adam Flo.
He looks lovely. He doesn't look at all like he believes he belongs to a neo-Christian conservative group who thinks that women were better off when they were shackled. We'll see.
Good morning to you, Adam. Let's start with that first of all then, the social care and NHS. Where are we on the spending?
So we've got the least controversial bit is being announced today, which is an extra £5.5 billion for the NHS to be spent in the second half of this financial year to help the health service cope with that backlog of people who weren't able to get treatment during COVID, and also to help the NHS cope with just the extra other stuff it's got to do because of COVID. So that is what's happening.
You mean treat people with COVID?
Today. Then what we think is going to happen on Tuesday or Wednesday is this huge announcement about what to do about the funding of adult social care. And we think there'll be two big elements to that.
One is everyone's going to... There's a big vote for an ice flow version of Brexit.
Cap on lifetime care costs for an individual.
That's great. Is there a cap on lifetime to go with it? How fucked up is that? A cap on lifetime care. Whatever you do, Gran, Hello. Yeah, Gran. Listen, you're 98. Yeah, we love you. So interesting. Yeah, we've had a great time. Yeah, have some. Could you stop sipping for a minute? It makes me nauseous, the noise. Yeah. Here's the problem, Gran. You've been a little, you had a bit of the smoking, ate a lot of the canned meats when you were young, and you've eaten up a lot of your NHS funds. Yeah, you're out. So, yeah, your meds, can't have those anymore. Yeah, they're taking the oxygen. Yeah, it's a lifetime cap. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah. No, I suppose you could live longer. Yeah, you're just kind of on your own. Fucking hell.
There'll be a limit on that.
Yes, there'll be a limit on grandmother. Yeah. By the way, tin meats.
Your accommodation costs, though, crucially, it'll be for the cost of your actual care. And probably an increase in the level of the means test at which you get free care from the state and you don't have to pay anything. Now, that means a lot more public money going into the system, and that's got to be paid for somehow. At least that's the Chancellor's view. And it looks like the
what kind of weirdness is that? What are you talking about?
The government's going to go for is an increase.
Yes, that would be what's known as a death panel in the United States. Sean, thanks for bringing that up. Yes. This is, here you go.
National insurance contributions paid for by employees and employers. Now, that's quite controversial within the cabinet, within the Conservative Party.
Imagine how controversial it is in old folks' homes. I do think I've got an opinion on this, if I may. Yeah. I'd rather not die yet. What? Hold on. This is the, let's see. If I have, I think I do. Yeah.
Bring out today! Bring out today!
There is a new meeting of Parliament.
Bring out today!
See,
I'm not dead yet. Oh, he says he's not dead. Oh, he should be stone cold in a moment.
Between the political...
Do us a favor. I feel happy. I feel... Whoop.
As well, for a whole host of reasons. You've got some people saying, well, it would break a manifesto commitment that the Conservatives made at the last election. Then there's some people say, well, actually, we shouldn't be raising taxes at all. Then you get some people saying, well, raising national insurance is the wrong kind of...
Yeah, democracy is fucked. Can't we go back to the monarchy? Just let the Queen make these decisions. And if we don't like them en masse, we can just cut her head off. The old system. It worked so well before the Americans came along, fucked everything up, giving everyone a say. What kind of nonsense? Thank you, Diana.
To pay for this sort of thing because it's not paid for by pensioners who are the people who are most likely to benefit from it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're really talking about, it's hard to tax people who've outlived their usefulness.
So there's going to be a lot of arguments about it when this policy is finally unveiled.
So somebody in the chat room saying how on Fox News, Republican Congressman McCall stated 6 airplanes are stranded some airport in Afghanistan with Americans on board. It's 4. I brought up this news. Where's my? I don't have it. Shit. I'm going to do that later on today because it's largely bullshit. That's all you need to know. I'll catch you up on it later. It's 4 airplanes. They're like, everyone's trapped at the airport for days. No, they're not. There's all sorts of reports of like a big portion of them went back to a hotel where they're trying to get out. The idea that they're Americans or dual citizenship people and that kind of stuff is all watery. He's talking out of his ass. And a lot of them have been seen, the people who were supposedly trapped on those airplanes have been eating at sidewalk cafes, and it's not in Kabul. So, yeah. There you go.
When the government finally does a deal amongst itself about it. But the government would say that...
Yes. Yeah, I mean, the voters always fuck things up. So why don't we do a deal amongst ourselves? I like it. It could be good. Be all right. Yeah? Sorry, I have the wrong... maybe I've got the wrong face for this. Hold on. Let me see if I got... Is this wrong? Hold on. Probably. But I've got enough English and Brit in me that I can probably get away with it. Yeah, this will do. Yeah, I like the way the Queen's like voting on certain things, but I don't know if I agree totally with the whole let Grand die part, you know. It's I mean, obviously, we're keen to get our hands on her money, right? But I've got to talk like this if the news interviews me, otherwise she'll scratch me out of the will like she did last time. Luckily, she survived, and I was able to work my way back into her good graces, you know. But you know, as a voter and a taxpayer, I've got certain concerns. But as a possible person who will be inheriting things, I wish you could hurry shit along a bit, you know? So, that'd be good. Just thinking about it. Let me know. Thanks. Be good. Sorry. All right, back to one. Looks more Icelandic to you? I don't know.
Which I think is very popular with the public. Opinion polls suggest that people want the social care system fixed, and they think that a cap and an increase in national insurance contributions might be a good way to do it.
Okay, that's
Yeah, a cap on people who've outlived their usefulness. Great. It's so you know, that's the great thing about a socialist medicine system, is that it never runs up against people who want to slit its throat. By the way, let's jump over. I'm gonna run out of time, aren't I? Oh yeah. So that's Australia, I think. No, in France. Okay, so this is France. Don't worry, I don't think any of it's in French. I know the video's echoing. I'll work on it. It's funny because let's see.
Let me say.
Yeah, so the audio is coming in. All of it's echoing from wherever it's coming. So I'll pull some wires and see what I can do. Oh wait, maybe wouldn't it be weird if? Hold on. And this, I don't think so, but let's see. Channels 1, audio processing, high pass filter, that's off, noise gate. Okay, that's the echo. There you go. De-esser, Aphex, the compressor's on. Maybe that's what creates it. We'll see. Hold on. These are protests against health vaccination vaccine passports in France. By the way, you can always tell when somebody wants to be a low-end vice when they put a dirt filter over the decent camera work that they have to give it a kind of, oh my God. It's look at this. 8 straight week of protests in France. They're hitting people so hard with their batons that it's making the video shitty. By the way, no offense to crooks, but she's some girl pushing back against, and there's 2 girls, and she gets whacked in the ass by this one. You take it, you like it, and then she tries to grab it, and then her friend tries to get her out of there. Dip in France, protest rage. Well, the dips in France are protesting, right? Oh, cases dip, I see. Cases dip in France even as protest rage. You mean the people protesting the thing that's working, that's causing the dip in cases, and they want to put an end to it because they think it's only killing all the right people? Gee, where have we heard that before? Has Macron's vaccine pass gamble worked? They always put in like scratchy video. This is very, very French. And then like Frenchish kind of hip hoppy stuff, you know, like we got to, you know, this kind of thing, man. understand what's going on, right? This kind of the system, we've got to push back on this thing. I'm not having a vaccine passport to go where I want. I don't want to walk around on the front of a vaccine passport, my face and my name, telling you what kind of vaccine game I've been playing. I'm pushing, I'm doing Macron. All right, sorry, that's just ridiculous. But see what I mean? They do this shit all the time. Ali G in the house, right? No passport sanitaire. Yeah, we want our dirty passports. We are French. We want our passports should have body odor. When you open up a French passport, there should be a tuft of armpit hair, and it should smell like BO and cheese. Yes, it's very important. Hold on, I'm going to get myself in very big trouble if I'm not careful. So there we go. So just go back to this. Apologize. Satire. Why are you sticking out? I'm trying to listen to my music as you are fondling me, you nasty cop. Several demonstrators clashed with police at a shopping center in Central Palace. These jeans are far too tapered, even for us French. Over 20,000 protesters marched on the Capitol to show their anger towards the COVID vaccine pass mandate. All right, it's mandat, pardonnez-moi. No kidding. Hey, look, their assholes look just like our assholes. That didn't sound right. Sécurité, diviser, discriminer, passe sanitaire, hip hop tell us we love hip hop. It makes us all want to fight. Pass no pass, no pass no. Don't pass, no pass no. We're gonna pass. Oh, give me no pass sanitaire. Oh, over there. Come on, don't. Sorry, I'm just being a dick. Good morning. Touchez pas. I'm gonna choke to death if I try to say that. Raoult? Is that some fella? Touchez pas Raoult. French citizens have taken to the streets calling the mandate a health dictatorship. Yeah, well, because they've seen the same Russian and Chinese propaganda on their social media sites that we do. And it's making the lunatics among them think, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Everyone believes just like me. All I have to do is make a sign and go outside and walk around and I'll make all sorts of friends. Normally, people shun me because I'm kind of an asshole. But now I found a website and a Facebook group where, strangely enough, everyone has sort of a Russian or Chinese grip on grammar, which is strange for my language, but whatever. We look past that, you know. Liberté, freedom, ça suffit. Liberté, freedom, stop the dictature. I'm sorry. I can't hurt myself trying to say dictature. No pass sanitaire. No vaccine passport. No sanitation passport. De contrôle des citoyens. For controlling the citizens, right? Yeah. In Marseille, Montpellier, Lyon, Nice, Lille. I have not been to Marseille. I've been to Nice. I've been to Paris, Nice, Avignon, Versailles. Where else do we? Nimes. I've been to Nimes, oui. All at the same time, one trip. Sorry. I'd like to go back, but... According to the organizers, over 150,000 people attended the demonstrations at 200 different locations in France. Oh my God. 150,000 people? Well, that's like 20% of the French population. Let's see. Population of France. Oh, not so much. Okay. So 150,000 people out of 67 million. All right. Okay. So... same number of lunatics we have. Okay, good. The illusion, by the way, is that for every person who's protesting, there's 10 people, or, you know, as many as 20, depend. Yeah, j'adore. la France. Yes. France, je t'aime. I love you, but you've got some lunatics. Eh? Oui? By the way, if you haven't seen JCVD, I highly recommend it. It's a movie. JCVD France, right? It came out in 2008. Let me see the images. There we go. It's a movie. I mean, he's technically not French. He's Belgian, like my Aunt Sophie was. But it's a fantastic movie. Really good. I'm not kidding. Genuinely good film. Kudos to the acting work of Jean-Claude Van Damme, acting en français. It's excellent. Excellent work. There you go. Ticky-tacky, ticky-wack, ticky-wacky-doo. Why are they playing music? According to the organizer, is that... Oh, over a month ago, French President Macron introduced a mandatory vaccine pass for movement in public spaces. What kind of movement? Like a bowel movement? What kind of... Like, if I just stand still, do I have to have one? Or once I start grooving, is that the problem? JCBD. No, that would be Jesus... cannabis, whatever. Yeah. The mussels from Brussels. That's right, Benny Loco. You have two lids living in Belgium? You mean two kids? All right. They're just doing like, this is like a French version of what you call it, the Now This. Thank you for just typing fart. I think it's important that we end some of this.
God. Sorry. I farted.
All right. I'm going to sign off and get to fixing my audio issues. I will be on later on at the regular time, 3 p.m. today, my time. Anybody who joined in, I will be back on in the morning on Wednesday and Friday. We'll do a little bit of this, and we'll start looking honestly at some of the foreign news that I don't get to cover on the other show. I may even work some of it in, depending on if it's worthwhile. But just to kind of remind everybody that as humans, we have a lot in common, and there's a lot of stuff that's we make a lot of the same mistakes, culture to culture, human to human. And I think if people started recognizing that, they would kind of, get off their own ass a little bit and get active, but they would also stop beating up on their own countries too, especially in the United States. There's as much a self-involved egotism to saying we're the cause of the world's problems or that we're the worst in the world about something. That is equally as egomaniacal as saying you're the solution or the greatest. And it's based on the same thing. It really is. So we will talk later on. I have no doubt we will see more shenanigans and nonsense from the right-wing media about Biden and all that other stuff. But for the time being, I thought it would be nice to just kind of hop in here, have a morning glass of water with you. Au revoir, and I will see you later on. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. See you guys this afternoon. Bye.